So you're welcome back to the last episode of this week's video, and that is where we are going to learn the power of algorithm. So what is algorithm and why should you know about it? Why is it important that you use them? So let's begin. So the power of algorithm. So what is an algorithm? An algorithm is a step-by-step approach of solving a problem, either simple or complex. Now, that is a typo error. One of the oldest form of algorithms is the pseudocode algorithm. Now, what is the power of what is the power or importance of algorithms? So with algorithms, you can use basic knowledge or principles about a programming language to build something complex. So I'll show you some steps of how to write pseudocode algorithm for any problem. And during the course of my experience or the years I've been a programmer, there are some times I want to solve a problem. I go online, I see the solution, but the solution is too hard to understand. In fact, I can't even copy the code because I don't even understand how the code works. But using algorithms, as you do those research online, you notice the endpoint, you notice some patterns. And what I end up doing, I've done it more than twice, is I will understand those patterns and develop my own algorithm, which is something that I understand and will work just like the outputs I see online, or it might even work even better. So this is a concept that if you harness it well, it will make you a very, very good developer, a developer that can solve a problem even when there is no even when there's no framework online. You can develop your own and and use. So now, if you understand algorithms, if you understand the principles of algorithms, you can apply it not only in JavaScript but in CSS and in HTML. So it will help you to plan how you build a particular site, the best route to use, so that you will not end up repeating a process that will eat your time. So this is a very, very important concept that you need to learn. So that's why I added it to what I am to teach you, so that I want you to be thinking for yourself to develop complex algorithms or simple applications using the knowledge of algorithm. So it is important to note that pseudocode algorithms is written in simple English. So this means it can easily be converted to other types of algorithms, and the algorithm can be executed using other script language apart from JavaScript. So meaning that if I develop an algorithm of how to solve a problem and the language I use is JavaScript, someone that knows Python can use the same algorithm and achieve the same result but not using the same script language. Somebody that knows C++ can use the same algorithm and also achieve the same thing. So it's like doing the same thing but with different programming language. So that is one of the advantage of using the pseudocode algorithm. It can easily be converted to other forms of algorithms, or it can be executed in other programming languages. So now we want to move on to the steps to write a pseudocode algorithm. Now, one of the basic steps is to understand the problem. And this is very, very crucial. This may involve some form of research and study. So as you are studying the problem, it might be a problem that you don't know about, but you know that you can solve it because you know how to develop and use pseudocode algorithm. So all you need to do is just to remember this step. So you need to study and do research, and as you're studying the materials you see either online or offline, you need to look for patterns. Now the next step is write out the logical steps to solve the problem in simple English. Now your understanding of the problem will determine how long this logical step will be. Now if you do a good job, you would not repeat step 1. But if you just have a shallow knowledge of the problem, this will mean you write too shallow the logical step, and that means when you actually want to convert or move to the next step, you now notice that a step is taking too much time, or is too big, or it did not break it as simple as possible so that the process will be faster. So that is the importance of the step 1. You have to understand the problem so that your step 2 will be more logical and it will be the possible steps that there is to solve that problem. So the next step is convert the logical steps to any script language, and the language that we'll be using for this video is JavaScript. So your level of knowledge of JavaScript will make this step easier. Now in case you have forgotten the topic or you don't know it, feel free to do research. Now once you do research, your aim is to understand the topic that will help you to solve the problem using your algorithm, and just continue with it. So you don't have to spend much time reading lengthy documentation. So just aim for a solution that will help you quickly understand the problem, a good understanding of the problem, so you apply it to your problem. Now it is likely that the problem that you are solving is time-based, so you don't have all the time to read lengthy documentations. So the next step is to test the code and fine-tune it to handle possible errors or exceptions. So using this first step in mind, let's develop a pseudocode algorithm for a simple problem using what we have learned so far in JavaScript. So we are going to develop a pseudocode algorithm that solves this problem. We want to generate any even numbers from a given number from 0 to a given number. So let's say let's say that the given number is 20. So I want to generate even numbers and possibly the prime numbers from 0 to 20 should not exceed 20. So if the given number is 1000, so I want to generate the even number from 0 to that number. So the first step is to understand the problem. So based on my knowledge of mathematics, and as you have seen me using in this code, you know that an even number is a number that when it is divided by 2, we will not have a remainder. So the remainder will be what? Will be 1. Or if you're using the modulus, it will be what? 0. So that is what you need to know about the problem. So what is even number or what is odd number? So if you don't understand what that is in mathematics, then you cannot do the step 2. So now, how do we now do the step 2. So the step 2 says write out the logical steps to solve the problem in simple English. Now, the problem is we want to generate even numbers from 0 to a given number, which is like 20. So the first step I need to see is, you notice that word generate. We need to generate. So the logical step will be, I'll get the given number. Then when I get the given number, what will I do next? I will now find a way to generate a number from what? 0 to 20. And based on my knowledge of JavaScript, what I will use to do that, I'll use the primitive loop, which is like a for loop or the while loop. So I'll generate from 0 to the given number. Now, while generating the number, what I'll do next is this. I have to find a way to filter out the numbers, because not all the numbers will be even numbers. So I have to find a way to filter. So while generating the number, I should have a container where I'll be filtering the number. So any number that passes the test of being even, I'll save it inside that container, which will be an array. So after that process finishes, then at the end of the loop, I should have my even numbers. Then I'll just display it to the user. So I'll write it. So all this process now is step 2. So I've written out the logical steps. So I will convert it to the JavaScript, and I will test and fine tune. So let's get into this using the VS Code. So I will copy all these things again and paste inside the function. So function higher array methods. So if I save this, let's go to the top, minimize. So the problem is Shift Alt A is this. Write a code that generates or that gets even numbers from 0 to a given number. So as part of understanding the steps or the problem, which is what? Step 1. So as I said, what is even number? So an even number is a number that can be divided by 2 without a remainder. So that is it. Then so that is, I've understood the problem. So now the next step now is step 2, which is what? Write out the logical steps to solve the problem. So now the logical step will be step 1, which is this. So I will get the number, then Then if I get the number, I have to generate numbers from 0 to a given number. Then after that, I would filter out the even number and save somewhere. Then after the end of the process, then I will return the even number. So this is the logical steps that I'll use. So I'll get the number, then I'll generate the number from 0 to the given number, then I'll filter out the even number, then I'll save the number somewhere, and because I save it somewhere, after this process, then I'll now return the even number. So now the third step is this. Let's write this third step, which is this. So is to convert to what? JS or a script language. So to convert to a script language, I need to know that for the step 1, everything has to be inside a function, so that a function can be dynamic. So I don't know what the given number would be. So if I put only 20, what if the person wants 1000 or like 50? So it has to be a function. So I'll put everything inside a function. Then to generate the number for the step 2, I'll use for loop or while, or you can use a do while loop. Then to filter the number, I'll use modulus or this, which you have seen me use during the course of this class. Then the next one is I'll save somewhere. So I will save inside an array. So I'll just be pushing to the array once it passes the test. Then next thing I'll now return. So let's now convert this step to the real code. So come down here. So I'll say function gets any even norms, then I'll pass in a, which represents the given number. So the next thing I'll now do is to generate the even number. So I'll say for, so let j be equal to 0. So this is the start point. Then while j is less than or equal to a, which is the given number. So I want to put j plus plus. Then next, inside the for loop now, I have to now filter using the modulus. So I'll say if j modulus 2 is equal to 0, this means it is even. So I have to save somewhere. So I will say let even be equal to empty array. This is the array that I need to save. So if it passed the test, I have to now write the next one, which is even dot push j. So this means this particular value at this point in time has passed the test. So yeah, it's even. So if it is not even, then I'll do nothing else. So after this loop, so by the end of this loop, I should have finished my filtering process. Then I can now return even, which is an array. So let's test this out to see if it's actually working. So I'm going to put console.log get any even nums. So if I put 20 here, so let's see if it's going to work. And it did work. So you notice that it worked. So you see from 0, the even numbers is what? 0, 2, 4, 6, just like that till 20. So of course, if you want an odd number, all you need to do is to add an else here. Then you can say get any even odds. So this is just to show you. Now remember, the last step is test the code and fine-tune to handle possible exceptions. Now to fine-tune this code, we have to check if a that we receive here is actually a number. So for example, if the user puts a string of a or an alphabet, how do we know that that is not a number? So how do we know that? So to test that, you don't have to activate this. So you just have to deactivate this and make sure you can handle that. So if the user passes, so let's say console.log a. So if the user passes, so let's say it's not you that is using this function, and the user passes, the user passes at 20, you see that it's showing 20. But what if the person passes a string of 20? You see that it's now showing as a number. Then what if the person passes e? Is e a number? No. So in JavaScript, there is a built-in method that we can use to test if something is a number. So we can use is if is none. So if it's not a number, passing a. So if it is not a number, we say console.log. Let's just be brief. Say not a number. Then else log a number. So let's see what will show on the console. So let me save this. So it's showing that this is not a number, and if I pass in 2, it's showing a number. So that means we can use this now to fine-tune our application. So what I can do now is I'll put everything that is here. So I'll cut this out and put here. So inside this is a number. I'll paste it here. Then I'm going to remove this. Then of course this return statement, wherever it is seen in a function, it will exit the function because it is seen as the end of the function. So what I can do now to make sure this works, I have to throw an error. So I'll put that in. Throw error put expected a number got. So I'll put a here. So let's see if this is going to work. So if I now if you notice that, so if I pass e here, this is going to throw the error. So you see, expected a number but got e at this. So this is very, very nice. But if you notice, a string of 2 or 10 is not actually a number, it's a string. So in order to handle that error, we need to update a. So you're going to say a is equal to, so we need to cast it, remember, number a. So it then means since this our if check here has verified that this is a number, then whether it's a string or not, we want to convert it to the actual number so that it will not give an error here. So if we do that, I save, you see that we'll still have the same issue. But if I move this to 10, which is a string, and save, you notice that the application runs without an error. If I also move this to a string, to a normal number of 50, you notice that the application runs. So any number I put, so far as is a number, this application will not crash. So you now see that using these 4 steps, if you play around it and study it well, you're going to see that whatever thing that you want to do with JavaScript, once you try to understand the problem, you follow these 4 basic steps, you're going to arrive at the solution. And one advantage that learning how to use algorithm will do for you is that it will help you know some other things in JavaScript that you might have overlooked. You will now see their importance. Now, JavaScript is a very, very broad language, and if you learn so many things when you don't actually need them, you'll get bored. But when you're learning them because you need to use it to solve a problem, it becomes interesting and you'll not forget them. So some of these things are used here, like this throw and this is none. I learned them when I was trying to solve a problem. So that is it for today's class. So I'll see you in the next video.